explain what octane is for your car engine. Now, when you go to the gas pump and you see like that 87, 90, 93, that's the octane level in the gasoline. So the way octane starts out is that you have your oil right here, like sitting in the earth, where all the dinosaurs decomposed to create black gold in business terms. So that oil is pumped out in whatever process you use, fracking, drilling, whatever, no one cares. So then it's pumped over to a refinery where it's distilled into different carbon chains, and it uses the vapors, like it captures all the vapors, and then if you're an oil company or gas company, all you care about is pentane and octane. Now these two are most commonly associated with gasoline because you're able to combust these relatively easy compared to something that's got a long carbon chain or a very short carbon chain. Now, if you're an oil company, you see these two right here, and you're like, oh wait, that's lost profit. I need money. I'm a big businessman. So if I have these short little ones right here, I can use a process called isolation to make smaller carbon chains into bigger ones. So that way they end up making this little carbon chain just a little bit bigger. And then on the other hand, if you have these big ones to where you're like, oh wait, it's too big, why don't I crack it using cracking to break big chains into smaller ones? So that way I can, use these small ones that aren't as big, make them slightly bigger, and just make myself more money. Now, if you have heptane and octane, what heptane is that it's a gas that's formed in here, and it's the ability, it will combust with compression. So as your car piston goes up, it will combust like a diesel. So that's why, if you're a gas company, you don't want that in there unless you're making a diesel engine, which we're not. We're making gas cars. So we care about octane. Now, what octane is, it combusts without compression. That's why when you see something with 90 on it, it's referring to the octane. And that, where did that other 10 go? That's the heptane. That heptane is put in there so that way it can say, with this research octane number that has 90% octane, and then that other 10% is that heptane. And then same thing for the motor. It's just this same thing over here. But the only different thing between the research and the motor operating one is that when you're doing your research, it's conducted at 600 RPM, which is, for a car engine, it's relatively low, but you can get, this is like idle speed. And then you just give it an ever so slight amount of gas to get it up to that 900. So that way it'll be like research plus motor. That's what this gives you. And then just to finish it off, the higher the octane, the more likely it is to resist combustion, which if you're a race car, like if you ever watch NASCAR, you don't want a low octane like that 87 in your super high compression rate car engine, because it's going to lead to knocking, which is going to lead to a very inefficient engine, and greenhouse gases go up. We don't want more CO2 or CO, carbon monoxide, in our atmosphere. That's why we make higher compression ratio, like octane numbers that go all the way up to 109. Why not 110, you might ask? Because anything above this number has to have lead, PB, in it, which we outlawed in the 70s because, again, it's very bad for the environment. So that's why this is pretty much straight methanol. The biggest thing that you can find at a gas station right now is 100 in very select few spots, or most commonly at every gas station in America, 93. So the higher the octane number, the more likely it is to resist compression or combustion with compression, and then the lower, the more likely it is to combust with compression. That's all I got.